Disclaimer: this podcast is for entertainment purposes and contains satire. Discretion is advised.
What?
What?
Hello, and welcome to Turning Phrases. I'm Steph,
I'm Chris.
What? I'm Adam.
and today we are continuing our series about generations and how they got their names. Today we are starting with the the boomers.
Boomers.
The boomers.
We're going
Boomers.
into the future.
I lied to you all.
You said
boomers.
it wrong.
The millennials.
The boomers. You gotta say it like that.
The boomers
I
over
will-
here.
I will
That's
do
right.
no such thing.
You had to.
It's the
That's
the Jersey in you. You have to get the boomers.
the boomers.
I'm from Connecticut.
You were talking about Jersey early.
Yeah, my grandpa was from Jersey. I am not.
If you came from Jersey or a family from Jersey, that's all you can ever talk about.
No.
Yep.
Any hoodle.
It's a Jersey thing. That's a Jersey thing. It's like being from Bridgeport. That's
Just
all
denying
you
that
ever
you're
know.
from Jersey is a Jersey thing. It's so typical Jersey.
So I know the real story of how boomers got their name. I'm curious to hear your two's input on it though.
Before they get their input, baby boomers are 1946 to 1964. Look at that, the numbers just switched.
1946 to 1964. That
Okay.
ain't that cute.
It's adorable, like you.
Ain't that just cute?
It
I
is.
suppose.
Aw, thanks.
Alright. So where do boomers get their name? Like that's what we're trying to
Tell us about the
trying to figure
boomers.
out.
Tell us all about it.
I mean, all I'm trying to say is that if you go on Steam, they really like fast-paced first-person shooters. That's what they're into. They're called boomer shooters.
Boomers.
It's called you shoot boomers. I don't make the rules,
I will admit,
but I do like playing them.
I have a very special soft spot in my heart for actual like boomers, like older
Boomers.
generations playing video games.
Yeah.
There's a couple like grandpas that play it, like all
Yeah.
the shows are like Grandpa Joe.
My
playing video
dad
games.
fought in World War II and I got to play him in a video game.
Yeah, he was from the greatest generation.
Right.
I'm not talking about them again.
Yeah. No.
We're talking about boomers. I actually do have a soft spot for boomers.
Yeah,
and
their music's pretty rad.
their music is rad. That was the stuff that we were growing up with when our parents were listening to at the time.
Yeah.
It was like the 70s
It's a
acid
shame-
rock and things like that.
It's a shame about the spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, no, that's a real problem that happened.
Yeah.
They
Totally.
never fixed that.
No, they never did. I think
The
there
lead
was-
poisoning either. You
Yeah,
know?
no, I
Hey,
mean, and that's
love lead poisoning. I do have this strong belief that the boomers are kind of where the generations really started dividing from things. Like all the previous generations, they all kind of had the same mindset because they didn't really know anybody outside their culture or things like that.
You only
Yeah.
think that because the silent generation didn't say shit.
Yeah, because
Y'all talk too much. The silent
Really?
generation weren't snitches.
I'm not a boomer. I'm 70 years old.
Did you
Anyway,
say you're 70 years old?
I'm not 70 years old.
I
I'm
thought you
not a
said you're
boomer.
7 years old. That checks out.
That mentally, I'm 7 years old. That's
Absolutely.
fine. But the boomers kind of were like the generation where you still had the old-fashioned plot from half of them, but then you had drugs introduced to the other side, and then we had crabs, not crab, shrimp. Shrimp? Whale?
It's
Whale.
a whale, Chris.
Looks like a shrimp.
This is an audio medium. You can't tell what this is. You don't know. It just makes little clinky sounds.
Okay, but boomers kind of introduced like our love of drugs, and that kind of created this social divide to me, where we started being more accepting of different cultures from basically the only ones that are going to ever start accepting, because there are still people that think like the silent generation, man, the greatest generation, fuck them, and we're moving on. But the boomers, like, they have that side where like we can't always just think the same way.
I
We
think
have
the
to
silent,
move forward.
the silent generation thought they didn't have a lot to say about it.
What about
They did
boomers?
shit.
Oh, boomers have a lot to say about a lot
Yeah,
of
they
things.
wouldn't shut
and-
the hell up.
But
Yeah,
the
and-
drugs changed things for them. I'm telling you.
Because they
man.
wouldn't shut the hell up. The silent generation was doing all sorts of drugs, but you didn't hear them talk about it because they weren't snitches.
That's fair. A lot of them did have morphine
the
problems.
boomers.
Yeah,
the
but
boomers
the
came along
acid
and they
came
wouldn't be
along.
quiet.
We're talking about acid.
And maybe they just sounded like boomers in comparison to the silent generation before them. You know, if there's like a really quiet person in the room and then somebody comes in and is like, hello, you're like, God, gotta quiet down.
That's
Not supposed to swear.
not for the first 10 minutes.
No. That's a boomer rule.
Good
That's
job,
the
Adam.
rule.
We have to rubber duck bleep that now.
Quack.
Yeah, but I'm just
I gotta
saying,
provide a different rubber duck soundbite for every episode. Just sort of start off like, "Hi, I'm Adam." Quack. That's the one you use.
you're gonna
You
come
just
along
use
one day.
that.
You're just gonna start. Hi, I'm Adam.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have something to start us off with.
It's gonna become a terrible force of habit. Like you're gonna start doing it unironically every time you.
Yeah,
introduce
so it's
yourself
nice to meet you. My name's Adam. Blah. So like that, just come around, and you could use that. You know,
It'd be a great barbecue this
That's not a
year.
great idea.
look what I caught.
So we have our boomer over
Good
here.
for you, Adam.
What do you have to talk? What are you thinking, Steph?
about.
Boomers.
I have a love-hate relationship with them as a generation. I think a lot of millennials do.
I think there's a specific half of them that are really easy to hate.
Yes.
Because without them, we wouldn't have the next generation. What's going to come forward from that?
Yeah.
The punk generation did come from boomers, shockingly.
Okay, yeah, but like because they were so bad.
They were only so bad because they had to listen to their grandparents at this point, who were, in fact, my favorite.
No,
The
it's just
greatest
like it breaks my heart though, because like, boomers were the ones who started like, the counterculture and like, the peace movement, and then they grew up to be the opposite
And then
of
they
all
voted
of
for
that.
Trump. So like
Yeah.
No,
I don't know
but
how
there
far
is
we're
still,
going into
like,
that,
a
but-
half of them that are still not that way.
I will say though, like my father is okay, I would consider my father to be socially conservative, right? But I've only ever heard him talk about Republicans, and it's really funny. My father was born in 1956, so he's like a boomer. And so is my mom. She's
it's
she's
not
only
all
2
of
years.
them.
Yeah, no, it's not all of them, of course. And like this isn't gonna turn into like, a generational like hate podcast.
I mean,
despite
it
what
might.
Chris is trying to do.
I'm not talking about them.
Yeah,
I
no,
know
no,
you're not,
that's,
but like
It's very
it's
hard.
come
that
up.
is not the goal of this
at
miniseries.
the start of the series, I was like on a scale like how depressing do we want this to be? And the answer was not. So I'm trying to shut the hell up. Like I'm trying to emulate the
And you are
silent
failing miserably.
generation. I'm trying to emulate the silent generation.
And here you are, you greatest narcissistic
That's
prick.
it. But it turns out I'm just the greatest, aren't I?
Well, I do want to say this.
I'm
There's a
just the
lot of like
greatest.
the counterculture that came along.
Yeah.
A lot of those, there's still the old hippies that exist. There's
Yeah.
still like a majority. Like we don't hear about them as much because obviously the other side is so much louder.
Yeah.
But they are the ones that started like we would not have listened to people with the Civil War movement or things like that if it was just one side.
You mean the civil rights movement, not
Civil
the
rights.
Civil War movement.
movement.
Civil rights
My
movement.
dear,
bringing
we
it
are
back.
way beyond that.
Actually, we may
You
have a new
think
Civil
this
War
is more-
movement.
I support abolition. Like, I don't know about you guys.
The Civil War movement of 1962.
Yeah,
1925.
Everything goes back to that. But the civil rights movement, everything like that, there was a lot of stuff that came around because of the boomer generation. That was that. They
Yeah.
were pushing things forward. And that wave still exists. It's just that they've been so overshadowed, this boomer movement, because there's an old phrase that I still believe in. It was Douglas Adams, boomer, technically a boomer.
Boomer.
And he had this saying where anything that existed before you were 20 years old has always existed in your head. It's always been there. It's amazing. It's just part of life.
Mhm.
Anything that comes around between 20 and 35 is new and exciting. You can't believe that it exists. Anything that came around from 35 and on is an act against God.
I mean,
want nothing to do with
I was 31 when Skibbity Toilet became a thing, so like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I guess I was a little early on that, but
But a lot of the movements that came around was during that like 20 to 35
That
years.
shit is that stuff is just awful. I hate that.
I don't-
Skibbity
And when
Toilet.
did you
Yeah,
find
I
out
hate
about
that
it?
so much.
I'm about to find out about that. I'm going to save it for the next generation when we get to Z and A.
I'm
We'll
gonna.
get
All
off
right.
with that.
Disclaimer before we get there. I don't even know what Skibbity Toilet is. I just know it's a thing.
You
and
don't understand the lore?
No,
Oh.
I understand that the lore goes very deep, but I don't have the spoons to go through it. I'm sorry.
It's best to stay away.
We're going to
It's
learn
great,
about it in the next episode.
Oh, that's okay.
And Bluey. We're going to talk about Bluey because I have a deep love for Bluey. Anyway, I do feel that boomers at this point have this sort of both good and evil side because we're going to obviously hear from the worst part.
It's the lead
But
paint.
the things that came around between that 20 and 35 years old of the generation were some of the most amazing movements that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
The loudest and strongest movements.
They were loud, all right.
But we
That's why
also
I call 'em
have
that.
the worst side of the boomers that are just as loud now.
Yeah, and they have access to Facebook, so they're really fucking loud.
That's the land of the boomers.
They only know how to use Facebook.
Yeah.
They love Facebook and they miss MySpace.
I
miss
think
MySpace.
that's Gen X. I think you've jumped ahead. I think Gen X misses
I
MySpace.
miss MySpace.
Boomers did not. Boomers were not MySpaces.
I could get
Boomers
in,
were.
I could get in contact with so many people on MySpace.
Boomers,
I loved it.
boomers had to be dragged kicking and screaming onto the internet.
And yeah,
And well, and when they eventually were, by the time they were, MySpace had been pushed aside.
yeah, MySpace was long.
And so
gone
it took
by
a
then.
long time.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
you know.
true. Hey, Mr. Computer Man, tell us about boomers.
Well,
Stop breaking shit.
you're not the boss of me.
The cause of all of our ills.
You're not so.
So, this may not surprise you, but boomers, also known as baby boomers, well, they were basically the result of high fertility rate after World War II.
So
a lot
you're
of
gonna say
people came.
there's a lot of there's in 10 minutes. Fucking
They were called boomers for a reason.
that's good time. Good time.
Yeah, yeah, they were the result of, you know, a bunch of fucking, and then they fucked all of us over. So.
Well, especially after
And
World
after
War
that,
II, you know.
Huh?
After World War II, you know, you gotta let off a
So-
little steam.
I
When
mean,
did-
if I just, you know, shot a bunch of
When
Nazis
did they
in
start
the
calling
face.
themselves?
Well,
boomers?
hold
Like,
on, what-
When
okay.
that part come around?
Hold on a second. God dang, we gotta talk about this. Why wasn't there why wasn't there all that steam after World War One?
There was,
Well,
Because
then-
everyone got shot in the face with mustard gas at them.
but also they kept talking about how great they were.
They got shot in the face with mustard gas and Spanish flu.
So the greatest generation was the pre-boomers.
I'm not allowed to talk about them anymore.
Okay. I'm just saying.
There's gonna be a tally every time I mention them. There's gonna be a little edit count somewhere around here.
I feel like there should be like why
Great
aren't
idea.
they boomers? Like was there a boom there or no?
I guess not.
They weren't allowed to
just
talk
saying.
anymore. That's why they were the silent generation.
Well, there was a boom in the number of babies. See?
Yeah,
Got it.
I see it.
I'm
What
just-
year did that come out? What year did they start saying that word though? He's never gonna tell us.
It had to have been, like, pretty early on, because, like...
I'll never tell you.
1918.
1825.
Yeah, it came out in 1918.
Yeah, they
Good
knew.
job, Adam.
They're like
Really good idea. What
in about 30 years, there's going to be a generation of children, and we're going to call them the baby boomers.
Yeah, they're great.
Why?
Great.
I don't know.
They were slightly better generation.
Feels like
than the
feels
greatest
right.
generation.
Should we start naming generations like 30 years from now? Like right now?
Based on how often they're having sex, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have a deep love for the alpha generation, but that's neither here nor there.
They're not 30. No, I'm talking about the people who are being born 30 years from now.
Oh, we're not. Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking Water Warriors. I don't know why that comes to mind. Anyway.
That's just.
How long ago did you watch Waterworld, Adam?
It was first used in 1963.
God damn it, Pedro, what
So-
are you breaking?
They actually called themselves it during that time.
They did.
So
Yeah.
they were the first ones to call themselves during their own time period.
In a January 1963 Daily Press article by Leslie J. Nasson. You know who I'm talking about, Adam.
Yeah, you know him.
So wait, what was the exact year for boomers again? What was the generational?
1946, 1964.
So they actually were the first ones to call themselves their own name.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, but like,
That's crazy.
Well, either that or the
we don't know. if the-
greatest generation. Dude.
No, apparently whatever.
No,
what's his name?
silent generation,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
That was in the later 40s? I forget what you told me.
1951.
1951, so it wasn't them.
Oh.
No.
It came after the generation. Okay,
Something like that.
Yo, my name's Adam, and I'm here to say, like, comment, and subscribe. Do it today. If you don't do it, I'll be very upset because I haven't thought of a fourth rhyme yet. I don't want to drop the mic.
I think favorite generation because it's the one my sister came from. Generation X.
Generation.
Who?
Generation
Man,
Xtreme.
I wish I added the.
I never heard of them.
No, I
effect
didn't.
here. Generation X.
They don't matter.
They're my favorite generation.
They don't
You
exist.
see, according to.
I don't think we should talk about them.
Okay.
Generation.
This is kind of the ending of the Generation X or Generation X's. There are multiple sources saying different things, so I just
Okay.
went with one source, which says 1965 to 1980,
Sounds
Okay.
fair.
because the beginning, the millennial thing is kind of off, but like I said, I'll give you one specific
Yeah.
source. So the source that we're using says Generation X is 1965 to 1980.
Okay.
I have something in favor of Generation X, and it's really important. They came up with the idea of calling everything extreme.
They kind of did, yeah.
Everything.
After their name.
To
Yeah.
the max.
To the max, extreme. That's where Tony Hawk came from, and he's extremely cool, according to him. And me. I like
That's
Tony
around the
Hawk.
time when I think most members of the actual D-Generation X were born, too.
The greatest generation.
Yeah, the 60s.
Yep.
Bring it down!
When you were born as part of Generation X, they handed you a skateboard.
They handed you a skateboard,
And
they
a-
handed you
and a
flannel,
street
and they said,
boots.
do your best.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but so much cool stuff came from that generation.
Thrash metal.
Thrash metal, hair metal in general came from
I
that.
think we've spent enough time on them.
You hate that generation.
You hear
I-
that, guys? Adam wants to talk more about them.
I
Let's
just
go.
think that
You
know,
will not
people are
talk shit about
always-
X-Pac in my presence, goddammit.
People are always talking about Gen X. What they do. All they did was make a box that you could play video games on.
You
That's
like
it.
techno music. You love techno and like dance music and stuff like that. That
Adam.
basically came from that generation.
Hey, Adam. Oh, you didn't know?
You asked me to call somebody. You damn right.
What?
You wouldn't know.
Adam
You don't
doesn't
watch
know.
wrestling, damn it.
Oh,
Fucking
wrestling did. Yeah. Okay. Also, WWF. Without saying his name,
Uh-huh.
Vince McMahon.
Um,
Of the greatest generation, possibly. I don't know. Let's just pretend he is. Vince McMahon.
yes.
Jex.
That was the cartoonish world that came from Generation X.
Yeah, because like the early 80s is when wrestling started to become what we knew it as. So unfortunately, actually no, I can't talk too much shit about Gen X. Like
Generation X cartoons, sugar,
There's nothing to say about
being
these people.
extreme. Like every cartoon show that we watched growing up came from Generation X.
I mean, like I was just talking about that. Like one of my favorite albums of all time, which is Phil Collins's Face Value, which was his debut solo album, came out in January of 1981. So that's technically in the Gen X period of time. Yeah, so like the Gen Zennial era. And when I say Gen Zennial, since no one has a clear, definition of when Gen X ended and the Millennials began, and that's where we get the term Gen Zennial from.
Yeah, I got a theory on
Yeah,
that
like
one.
for people who were born between 1980 and 1984, that's when some really good music came
I
out. Man.
think that millennials are the first generation to give a shit about. Yes, I am done talking about Gen
We're
X.
not done talking about them. We still
But
we're
We
talking.
They're the
don't
first-
talk about Gen X. No.
That's a
no.
rule. They're the should be silent generation. No,
No, Gen X is my. I love them. And
they're okay. They just don't really.
They need
They
they need
made
Lexapro so bad.
So wait, I have generation. We're talking
Gen
about the boomers a
X-eration.
second ago. We had the wild split off of all the chaos that one half of the boomers did. That chaos became Gen X. Our world of music came from that. Our changes and everything came from the differences that came from that, and they came into the Gen X where everything started moving more forward. Did it move extremely fast? Yes, that's when we created
Just
all the people that came around that created the movements faster internet, the World Wide Web.
can't stop
Things like
talking
this.
about your ex.
Yeah. These are the people that created the system that moved everything into our mind just expanded so far. with the
Because
stuff that
everyone
came
was
from
on
that.
cocaine.
Yeah, we love cocaine. We at Turning Phrases have a doctor right here who will constantly tell us about the joys of cocaine.
Yep.
And as a professor of cocainology, I can tell you right now that's true.
Pretty good.
That's true.
Stephanie wouldn't know because she doesn't have a title in front of her name.
My
Yeah.
title is Mrs., I guess.
I guess
There you go.
Darn, she has a title now.
I mean, when Adam and Jason gets married, Adam's gonna be Mrs.
I don't think so. I don't think that's
He's
how
gonna
that
be
works.
the prettiest blushing bride ever.
Right?
Mm.
When you guys become...
No,
I'm fucking
insult
with
us,
you.
Steph.
Pretty good. But
I do feel that
Workshop it.
Johnson's is, we gotta
I
think
think
about that.
Adam needs to take Jason's last name. I'm just gonna
Steph,
say
no
that
insult
right
to you.
now.
Adam's just beautiful.
I just want to say I do appreciate Generation X. They did move us forward into Adam's generation.
We have a package being delivered.
But let's hear about Generation X. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Pedro, inform us.
Tell us all about
The
it.
real
Tell us
history.
about your ex.
Okay, so Generation X. The term Generation X was popularized by Douglas Copeland in an article for the Vancouver magazine in 1987. He adopted the term from Paul Fussell's 1983 book, Class, A Guide Through the American Status System.
Okay.
They're Marxists?
Yeah.
Well, I think the X
Explains
was
a
used.
lot.
It says this, also that the X was kind
Is that
of
where the
used.
X comes from?
What? No.
Marxism. Yeah, it's all about Marxism.
Yes.
Do you
Oh.
like it more?
No,
Yeah.
the
now
X
I'm
is-
okay with them. Let's
We
talk about
picked
them more.
Generation X.
Hooray!
They can stick around now.
Adam, tell us about your new feelings of Generation X.
But the X was supposedly there to mark a sense of alienation and uncertainty. You know,
That
kind of
does
marking
sound like Marxism.
unrelated use.
It's the everything app. Anyway, don't talk about
Sounds
it.
like Facebook.
Okay.
Go ahead, Adam.
Adam, we'll talk about your generation.
Give us your wisdom, Adam.
About Marxism and why
All right,
Generation X is great now.
Generation X is pretty good. If the X stands for Marx, that's not bad.
It's the
I can stand
extremism
for that.
that is Marx.
Yeah. I guess so.
The
But-
X marks uncertainty because we don't know where the treasure is.
It's kind of marks the spot though. Like if you found it, then
Hey,
you-
we got it. We got the joke. We got the cut.
yeah. Well, anyway,
You're asking what a short's gonna be. It's Adam coming up with that joke.
I think there's great significance in the fact that we don't know when Gen X starts, and the reason that we don't know when Gen X starts is because millennials are the only generation who give a shit. I think. I don't think the boomers were like, "I'm a boomer, god damn it, I'm not the silent generation." I don't think they cared. I think they
No.
were too high. And I don't think the silent generation cared, and if they did, we don't fucking know because they didn't say anything. And I think the greatest generation, everybody just called themselves the greatest generation, obviously. So I think, and
No, only one called themselves.
and
the
Gen
greatest
X was like,
generation.
we are too cool to adopt generation talk. But millennials
They
are
actually were too cool.
exactly. But that's why they didn't talk about it. And so millennials were the ones who were on social media and wouldn't shut the hell up. And so they had to have a differentiation point to be like, this is when this started, and this is when it didn't. And everyone on the internet fights all the time.
Okay, Pedro, tell us
So-
about the worst generation, millennials.
Millennials.
They're actively killing the podcasting industry right now. We're doing it.
Exactly, right now. Millennials range, like I said, I've seen several different sources say different things, but the one that I am going with for today is 1981 to 1996, which means we're all millennials in this room, except for Jeanie.
What generation is Jean? Oh man. is
What
she
year was
alpha?
she born?
She's up.
He's Generation Alpha.
Oh man.
Okay,
Damn.
Adam, it's your time to shine.
Go ahead.
Tell us about the joy that is millennials.
These sons of bitches. They're the only ones. I don't think anyone gave a shit about generations. People were writing books about generations just to sell stuff in airport bookshops. And then millennials came along and said, this is the word of law. Generations are real. I think it's our fault.
I mean, the whole concept is just like one giant rage bait, isn't it?
Isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
It's-
The whole thing
awful.
has always been just like these people were born at a different time.
I mean, but like millennials, I feel like we have a right to be angry because, like, you know, not to be like a huge downer, but the week before I turned 10 years old, I watched 2,000 people die live on TV and nothing ever got better. So, yeah, we're kind of pissed.
We were not supposed to get depressing on this one, Steph.
Da 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 da.
There's
Music
so many
and
ways.
happy times. Everybody's having fun.
Okay,
while
You
talking
can
okay.
talk about the great things that happened, like the
Okay,
internet.
In
which is
Sync.
just
There.
perfect.
Great thing that happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Their debut album came out in 1998, which we all know is objectively the best year.
But they themselves are probably Xers,
Gen X,
right?
Yeah.
They
And
are.
we can't talk about that.
We can't talk
nobody
about
nobody
that.
wants to talk about Gen X.
I mean, wait a minute. When was Britney Spears born? Because that's a question.
Okay,
because
so-
I have insults towards her.
Oops.
Justin was
Okay.
17 when In Sync
So
formed.
he's a millennial.
Don't talk about.
He was
Britney.
born in 1981.
Millennial.
So I think Britney Spears is close to the same age.
Okay, so I have a reason why millennials are the worst generation for one reason. My ex
Christ. Okay.
tangent, Chris's tangent, named Britney
Just stop talking about that.
Spears. Was her name Britney Spears?
Oh.
And I dated her about 3 weeks before Britney Spears came out,
Okay.
and she had to legally change her name and move to a different state
Damn.
I'm not sure how moving to a different state would help.
because people still know her in that town and everything.
Oh,
That was still
I
her
guess.
name in that town.
Okay.
They knew it.
I
So
used
she
to
legitimately-
changed her first name.
She changed her first name and her last name.
Oh, damn, that's a little extreme. I feel like you could have just done one.
Oh no, she wanted to get rid of every side of it.
Wow.
And that is why millennials are the worst. No. And no, this is a generation where I felt like online bullying also came from millennials. It was crazy where that came
Yeah,
from.
because we had this,
That's-
phenomenal cosmic power in an itty bitty living space, and we abused it.
Okay.
Everything that Generation X gave us
I think
on a
that-
platter, we just made worse.
Any generation that grew up on the internet would have given you online bullying. The greatest generation would have been talking shit. The silent generation would have been silent.
Yes.
But
They would have just been like, you suck.
yeah.
Like in all lowercase, no punctuation.
If the greatest generation had the internet, they would be the even worse generation than they already
Yeah,
are.
so I'm just saying I feel like it happened, but it's not necessarily our fault. Anyway, look, we've been killing industries for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of our whole shtick.
No, so
And I
it's the
think we
greatest
just need to
generation.
take it further. We need to kill all industries. I'm part of Generation Marx.
That's
That's where you were
like
going with
Generation-
this.
That's what Generation Marx was all about.
So you finally moved to the X generation.
Yeah, I'm down with them now. They're cool.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, why the sudden change?
Yeah.
Everything that Adam enjoys in life, though, did come from that.
Yeah,
Which makes sense because he's a millennial.
yeah.
So he's just going to love all the stuff that was there, but also blame everybody for it not working the way he wanted it to.
I mean, this whale was born like 20 minutes ago. I don't think that's chance.
That's
Oh my god.
what's funny. And in a couple next week, I think that would have been a generation beta.
Oh yeah.
Beta?
Yeah,
They can't.
that's
we
the
can't
next
call 'em
generation.
that.
That's their generation.
We can't call them that.
Alpha hasn't fixed their name yet, so Beta's still the next
Alpha's
one.
all right. I mean, there's like positive connotations with Alpha, but Beta,
We're gonna get into them in the next episode. Trust
I'm
me.
just
Well,
saying,
if the-
it's going to be a problem.
See,
That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a legitimate political and social problem in about 20 years. Where we're just going to be going, are you freaking Beta? You're freaking Gen Beta?
fucking dude bros ruined
Your whole generation
everything,
is
dude.
Beta.
It's like you don't wash your ass one time and then you're calling everyone a beta.
I know. I'm telling you.
I do
what
love
happens.
the fact that we are all millennials in our group.
Yes.
We are. And there's such a disdain for our own generation from us.
Yeah.
Our generation
love-
had good music.
We had good music. And we had a lot of cool stuff that we got from other generations, and we started working with them. We started moving things forward. We're probably the ones that look to the past more than any other one.
We won't shut the hell up about it, man.
No, we won't. We have this deep interest in what came before us. which
That's
is
because
really
in
neat.
our lifetime we watched people go from dial phones and all this other shit to, internet connection that made that noise from hell when you opened it.
Yeah.
I will
Internet
say,
used to scream, and that's the way it should have been.
I was 8 years old when the internet became like the thing to have in your house at your computer. And we went from not having that to having it basically like overnight. And you see very quickly how that could like mess with someone.
my family was not wealthy, but we actually had a computer in our house when I was 5.
Yeah.
Which was crazy to have a home computer
Yeah.
when you're 5 years old.
Mhm.
And I think we were early on to the internet too.
Mhm.
Like right away when AOL came, my dad was always into technology, so he loved it, and we would end up using everything that came out. We'd always have the newest television, the newest sound, the newest everything like that.
And the thing about it is, that kind of related to that, y'all, you alphas, you freaking betas, all the ones who are coming after us, you better freaking stay nice to us, because none of y'all know how to use a computer. If I show you people a file system, your heads explode. Like,
That's
what
gonna
the
be
hell,
the next
man?
episode. We get to yell at them for next 20
Like,
minutes.
I mean, you don't know how to fix stuff. It's not hard. You just Google it. Well, actually, that's changing now, too. That's going to be anachronistic. You just DuckDuckGo it, I guess.
I will say, I don't mind. I've always worked with millennials, like, even when I was a supervisor for, like, different jobs. It's a really interesting thing where I never really saw, like, for most of the millennials that we heard about, a lot of them still had the same work ethics of Generation X. A lot of them
Yeah.
still wanted to work and do that stuff.
Yeah.
But they were more interested in what jobs could come from things.
Yes.
Like the bubble, we talked about the internet bubble.
Uh-huh.
But that came from people being so fascinated, again, by what was right before us.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we just kept building on things that existed.
But that was a Gen X thing, because that was 2008 was the .com bubble, and so that was Gen Xers.
But millennials were also
They got a little
like,
too hyped.
they were trying to push everything forward too. They were trying to. That was a lot of us too.
I mean, we weren't doing that. I was 8 years. I don't
You
know how
could
old
be
I
up to
was.
28 years old.
You were 12 when the .com bubble
You
happened.
were.
Yeah.
The .com bubble happened
So I don't
in
think
2000.
I was doing that. No, it was
I-
2008.
No,
Wait,
it was
no, I'm wrong.
2000.
It was 2000. Yeah.
But there was
Suck it.
like a lot of culture that's growing from the younger people during that time. But millennials really did push things forward.
Yeah, but I don't think we. I mean, I guess in the sense that Neopets was a step forward, but like, a step forward towards what
Neopets is the worst
exactly?
version of Tamagotchi?
They're both good.
Tamagotchi.
Okay,
Don't
no.
make them fight.
Tamagotchi.
They're both amazing. I love Tamagotchi.
You know what was the
My
worst
mom
thing?
took care of them for me. We
Okay,
would get them and be like, "This is amazing," and I don't want to have to deal with it. So
I'm
my
gonna
mom would
settle
take
this
care of
right now. The worst thing that millennials ever did, and I totally
it. So far,
so far, was fucking Newgrounds. And if you are blessed to
I
not,
love Newgrounds. I
If
don't know what
if you
you're
are
talking about.
blessed to not know what Newgrounds was, keep it that way. It was our fault. I'm sorry.
It was
Oh,
incredible.
Newgrounds. Newgrounds is
I
great.
know Newgrounds, and I have to agree.
Newgrounds is a terrible, awful, horrible place. But we got such great game ideas later on from those people that were involved in that.
We wouldn't have
That is
Game
true.
Grumps if it wasn't
Listen,
for
we had to
Newgrounds.
go through that
You
shit.
wouldn't have YouTube
as a
if it wasn't for
culture.
Newgrounds.
Okay, we had to figure out that fucking 4chan was cringe. Okay, it took a long time.
We made Reddit.
Okay, well yeah, but I mean, and then we broke it, but that's fine.
We broke it the day it was made.
But
were born in it,
molded by
it.
we had to
Not the
learn
right voice,
over
but-
time that
I didn't
that
see the light of
4chan
Facebook until I was a man, but
We
only
had-
then I was blinded by it.
We had to learn that 4chan was cringe.
Wait, if we're doing bad Bane impressions, I was born in it. It was a good day.
I haven't seen the movie.
That is such an
But-
awesome Bane impersonation.
As good as I can do. Adam, do your best Bane.
I haven't seen the movie.
That was his best Bane.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay, before we start yelling at alphas and zetas and
I got nothing to say to them. They're alright.
Zennials,
They
yeah.
just need to learn how to use a goddamn computer.
let's hear from our lovely host.
Tell us about millennials.
Did we even
Oh,
talk
hey,
about the
that's me.
origin of millennial? I think it's pretty
We're
obvious.
getting well.
He's about to, you ding dong.
Okay.
Pedro.
Well, it's because
Okay,
they were
well,
born
Adam,
in the new century.
Wait, hold on before we get there.
Okay.
Millennials came from people that just wanted to say, I'm from the year 2000 and I rock.
Okay, I think you're the first one who's
Holy
ever
cow,
said that
you got it just right.
in history.
No.
They would say, "What a rush!" Sorry.
Oh, what a rush.
Well, this is unlistenable.
While Adam's being entertained by his 3D
Click-clacky
printed
whale.
whale,
His strip.
Millennials was first used in the book Generations, 1991, by William Strauss and Neil Howe.
Sold in library
They're
in
worse
airports
than
everywhere.
boomers. They're worse than boomers.
Who felt it was appropriate, seeing as how it would be the first generation to reach adulthood in the new millennium.
So it was about people that were excited about being in the 2000s. I
It was
wasn't even
people-
wrong.
You were
I
close.
think we are defined as a generation as the first generation, maybe not the only, but the first generation who gives a shit about generations.
That's true.
I think that is what defines us.
But we're about to go to the
Is
crime generation.
the fact that the first number in the year thing clicked over from 1 to 2 was that just changed. That was like our whole thing. 1 going into 2. That's us. Every other generation is like, okay, well, whatever.
I turned 9 in the year 2000, and I remember there was such a hype about it. I remember, like, everyone at school was excited, and then someone had to bring up the Y2K thing.
I owned my first pair of rip-away pants in the year 2000.
Your first pair of ripaway pants.
First, but not last.
Not last.
Rip them off, Chris. Show
Yeah,
them.
you know what I had?
Continue the tradition.
I had a Furby.
I had rip-away pants.
I wanted a Furby because I believe that they were like they'd really gone in on the AI on that. You could probably really do like an AI Furby now, like a whole
Please don't.
put an LLM in there.
Well-
have it actually learn.
I think that the none of us can pull up anything that we have that's better than Chris's rip-away pants. I'm sorry, he's won this.
Yeah, no, I have as a peacock, that was a very special life for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Steph's gonna take us out because she brought us in.
Thank you for tuning in to Turning Phrases. I'm Steph.
I'm Chris!
And I'm Adam.
Click clack.
So,
See you all next time. Thank you for tuning in.